And I gotta ask you about Brandon Rios, man. You grew up with Brandon. You were just a little kid when Brandon came into your life. How hard was it to see him go through that moment again, man? The Danny Garcia fight. How hard was that, man?
Nah, it sucked, man. Yeah, like you said, I've known Brandon most of my life. He's like he's family, man. We've known him more than half my life, and he's always kept it cool with us. He's with my dad, always been loyal with my dad, Donald. Yeah, it sucks, man. You don't want to see that. That's part of the sport that sucks. Like it's a great sport when your guys are winning, when your guys are on top, and this and that. But then you get it's part of the sport. The guys lose, and it's getting knocked out is part of the sport, and it sucks seeing it. Especially with someone that you're that close with.
I wasn't there, man, but just clarify this with me. I heard that he was a little upset at your dad he thought he stopped the fight.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page that it was the referee that actually stopped the fight.
It was the referee that stopped the fight. Brandon, he didn't know. One, he didn't know what had happened exactly, because when you get hit and you get dropped and you get knocked out and stuff like that, the guys don't. It takes a while for them to process everything that's going on. When he was in the ring, I don't think he still knew exactly what had happened. He goes in the locker room and he thought my dad had stopped it, because it looked like the referee had looked over my dad. My dad was already jumping in the ring, because every state has different rules. In California, if you want to stop the fight, you have to tell the commissioner, "Hey, I need the fight to stop." You can't just run up, because then you can get fined and stuff, suspended and stuff like that. So you have to tell the commissioner. In California and Vegas, you can run up and stop the fight. So my dad told when Brandon got dropped and Brandon got up and he still wobbled a little bit, my dad wanted to stop the fight. My dad right away asked Donald, "How much time do we have left?" And he said like 45 seconds. My dad said, "It's too much time." So he goes over and tells the commissioner, "I want the fight stopped." The commissioner's like, "You have to go do it." So as my dad's walking up, Kenny Bailey's already stopping the fight, holding Brandon, and my dad's already running in the ring.
Yeah.
So Brandon thought my dad was stopping the fight. Brandon was a little upset, telling my dad, and it's the way Brandon is, man. When he says he's willing to die in there, he's not kidding, man. He's not kidding. He loves this fucking sport. He's given this sport everything he has, and that's why, man. He would rather get knocked the fuck out than have my dad stop the fight. But my dad, being as close as he is with Brandon and being the chief second, you got to do whatever you can to protect the fighter. If you see that Brandon when he got up, he was still wobbled, and you got to stop the fight right there, man.
So that brings me to the last question, man. Where's Brandon now? He's giving everything to the sport. What do you want to see Brandon do next, man? And if he does fight again, would you like to see him in there and against who? And what would you advise to Brandon Rios, man?
Well, it's up to him, man. It's up to him, his family, his wife, my dad, Donald, whatever they want to do, man. If like I said, so Brandon's one of those guys that boxing is what he loves to do. It's what he's done his whole life. It's the only thing he knows how to do, man. I mean, it's tough to tell somebody like that to call it quits. It's tough for him to know when it's time to call it quits, because he just always wants to keep doing. He wants to keep fighting. But yeah, it's up to them, man. It's up to them. I don't know what his plans are. I don't know if he, like I said, I haven't really talked to him. I talked to him a little bit after the fight. We text every now and then, but he lives in Oxnard. We live in Riverside, and we don't see him that often. But yeah, I don't know. It's up to him, man.
Can you gauge it that he might step into can you kind of gauge it? Where's he at? Like